My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest strengths a believer can attain is the ability to remain calm when others try to provoke them. Life will always bring challenges. People may test you and situations may disturb you, but the true victory lies in mastering your response. Anger is a fire that burns within, but when you learn to control it, you rise above those who seek to hurt you. Remember, your peace is priceless and no one deserves the power to steal it. Today, let us discover how to never get angry or bothered by anyone. When we look at life carefully, we realize that much of our frustration and anger comes not from what happens to us, but from how we choose to respond to it every single day. People will say things we don't like, do things that irritate us, or act in ways that may seem unfair. But here's the truth. We can never control the words or actions of others, no matter how much we wish to. What we can control, however, is our own reaction. This is where true wisdom and strength lie. The moment you decide that your peace is more important than someone else's behavior, you unlock the door to freedom. Imagine a person insulting you. You cannot control their tongue, but you can control your ears and your heart. You can decide whether to let those words hurt you or whether to rise above them. If you choose to get angry, you hand over your peace to them. You allow them to dictate how you feel. But if you smile, remain calm, and move on, you take away their power completely. The person who remains composed in the face of provocation is far stronger than the one who shouts and screams. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad 8 told us that the strong person is not the one who can overpower others physically, but the one who can control themselves when they are angry. Life is full of tests, and often the people around us become part of those tests. A rude colleague, a disrespectful family member, or even a stranger on the street can test our patience. We must remind ourselves that Allah is watching how we respond. If we choose to lose our temper, we fail the test. But if we choose calmness, patience, and silence, we earn reward and grow spiritually. Every time you control your reaction, you are polishing your heart, strengthening your character, and protecting your dignity. Think about this when you allow someone's negativity to dictate your emotions. You have actually given them authority over you. They control your mood, your thoughts, and your peace. Why would you hand such power to anyone? People may continue behaving badly, but you don't have to participate in their drama. Detach yourself from their actions and focus on your own. This is what it means to truly live with self-control. You own your emotions, you protect your peace, and you decide not to sink to the level of those who provoke you. Another key is remembering that anger clouds judgment. When you lose your temper, you often say things you regret, do things you cannot undo, and hurt people you never intended to hurt. By controlling your reaction, you give yourself time to think clearly. You respond with wisdom, not impulse. This not only saves relationships, but it also saves you from regret. Many great mistakes are born from a single moment of uncontrolled anger. Avoiding that one moment can save you from years of pain. Patience is not weakness. Silence is not weakness. Walking away is not weakness. These are actually signs of maturity and inner strength. Anyone can get angry, that is easy. But only the disciplined soul can remain calm when provoked. Only the wise can smile when insulted. Only the strong can choose peace when chaos surrounds them. Your true strength lies not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. The one who controls their reactions owns their life, while the one who tries to control others will always remain frustrated. One of the most valuable treasures you can ever guard in your life is your inner peace. It is something that cannot be bought, borrowed, or taken from someone else. Inner peace is the calmness of the heart, the tranquility of the soul, and the clarity of the mind. But to maintain it, you need patience. Patience is like a shield that protects you from the storms of life, from the noise of negativity, and from the hurtful actions of others. Without patience, you allow every small disturbance to shake you, but with patience, You remain steady no matter how turbulent the situation becomes. Every day brings challenges that test your patience. People will misunderstand you, disappoint you, or even wrong you. Circumstances will not always go your way, and life will not always unfold according to your plan. If you react hastily to every single trial, you will spend your days in constant frustration. But when you adopt patience, you discover a powerful secret. Nothing outside of you can truly disturb the calm inside of you unless you let it. Patience is not just about waiting. It is about how you behave while you wait. It is about holding yourself with dignity, refusing to let emotions take control, and trusting that Allah has a greater plan even when you cannot see it. Consider the example of someone who faces repeated criticism. If they respond with anger every time, they destroy their peace and the critics succeed in pulling them down. But if they remain patient, remembering that the opinion of people does not define them, their heart stays calm. Patience allows you to rise above petty distractions and focus on what really matters. It saves you from wasting your energy on battles that do not deserve your attention. In silence and patience, there is wisdom and strength. Patience also protects you from making poor decisions. Anger, frustration, or haste often lead to words and actions we later regret. But patience slows you down, giving you time to think, reflect, and act with wisdom. When your heart is patient, your mind remains clear, and your decisions are guided by calmness rather than emotion. That is why patience is one of the greatest qualities praised in the Qur'an. Allah promises immense reward for those who are patient, because patience is not easy. It requires discipline, trust, and faith. At times, patience may feel heavy. You might think, why should I remain silent? Why should I hold myself back? But in reality, by being patient, you are not suppressing yourself. You are protecting yourself. You are preserving your inner peace. And you are refusing to allow negativity to invade your soul. People may see your patience as weakness, but in truth, it is a mark of immense strength. It is easier to lash out, but it is far harder to stay calm and composed. That restraint, that silence, that moment of self-control is what builds your character and elevates your dignity. Life is full of noise, but patience creates space for peace. When you train your heart to be patient, you stop expecting perfection from people and situations. You accept that disappointments are part of life, and you trust that Allah will bring ease after difficulty. This acceptance fills your heart with calm. Instead of reacting to every storm, you let it pass. Instead of letting every word pierce your heart, you rise above. This is how patience becomes your shield, your protection, and your source of strength. One of the heaviest burdens a human heart can carry is the weight of grudges, anger, and resentment. Holding on to past hurts only traps you in the pain of yesterday, preventing you from experiencing peace today. To truly free yourself, you must learn to forgive and let go. Forgiveness is not about excusing what others have done, nor is it about pretending that the wrong never happened. It is about releasing yourself from the chains of bitterness. When you forgive, you are not doing the other person a favor. You are doing yourself a favor. You are choosing peace over pain, healing over hurt, and growth over grudges. When someone wrongs you, the natural response is to feel anger or sadness. But if you continue holding on to those emotions, they begin to consume your mind and heart. Every time you replay the incident, you give it power over you. Forgiveness cuts off that power. It allows you to move forward without dragging the weight of the past with you. The moment you decide to forgive, you reclaim control of your life. You stop letting someone else's actions define your happiness. Letting go does not mean you allow people to mistreat you again and again. It does not mean forgetting the lesson. It means learning from the experience, setting boundaries if needed, but refusing to poison your heart with hatred. Imagine carrying a burning coal in your hand because you want to throw it at someone. It only burns you, not them. Resentment works the same way. By letting go, you drop the coal, you stop burning yourself, and you walk away lighter and freer. The Quran and Sunnah emphasize forgiveness repeatedly because it is a quality that elevates the believer. Allah Himself is the most forgiving, and He loves those who forgive. When you forgive others, you are hoping for Allah's forgiveness in return. You are reflecting a divine quality, showing mercy as you seek mercy. Even the Prophet Muhammad forgave people who harmed him severely, not because he was weak, but because he understood the strength and peace that forgiveness brings. Often, people think that holding on to anger gives them power, but in reality, it gives power to the one who hurt them. As long as you remain angry, that person continues to live rent-free in your heart. Forgiveness takes back that power. It says, you no longer control my thoughts, my emotions, or my peace. Letting go is like unclenching a fist that has been tight for too long. It brings relief, comfort, and freedom. Of course, forgiveness is not always easy. Some wounds run deep and healing takes time. But even small steps toward forgiveness bring great peace. Start by reminding yourself that no one is perfect, including yourself. Just as you have wronged others and hope they forgive you, allow yourself to extend that same mercy. Release the anger little by little until your heart feels lighter. The more you practice forgiveness, the more natural it becomes and the stronger your soul grows. Life is too short to spend it clinging to grudges. Every moment wasted on resentment is a moment you could have spent in peace, joy, or worship. The world moves on and you deserve to move on with it. By forgiving and letting go, you clear the space in your heart for love, gratitude, and positivity. You allow yourself to live in the present instead of being trapped in the past. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to others. It is a gift you give to yourself. A key that unlocks the door to true freedom and inner peace. Anger is a natural human emotion, but when it is left unchecked, it can become destructive. It can damage relationships, break trust, and lead to words or actions that we later regret. That is why learning to manage anger is essential for a believer. And the greatest way to do so is by seeking the help of Allah. On our own, our strength is limited, but with Allah's guidance and support, we can master even the most difficult emotions. Turning to Him in moments of frustration is a reminder that He is the controller of hearts, and only He can grant us calmness when the fire of anger begins to rise within us. The first step in seeking Allah's help is acknowledging that we cannot always rely on ourselves. Many people think that controlling anger is simply about willpower, but there are moments when willpower fails. In those moments, remembering Allah through dhikr can bring immediate peace. Simple phrases like, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed devil, or astaghfirullah. See, I seek forgiveness from Allah can cool the flames of anger because they reconnect the heart to the Creator. Anger often comes from shaitan, and the moment you seek refuge in Allah, you cut off shaitan's influence and invite divine calmness. Another way to seek Allah's help is through prayer. When anger feels overwhelming, pausing to perform wudu and standing in salah allows the heart to reset. Water extinguishes fire, and wudu not only purifies the body, but also cools the intensity of emotions. Salah connects you directly to Allah, giving you perspective and reminding you that the situation is temporary, but your response carries eternal consequences. Each time you prostrate, you release your frustration to the one who understands you better than anyone else. The Quran teaches us about the qualities of the righteous, and one of them is those who restrain their anger and pardon others. This shows that anger management is not only a personal virtue, but also an act of worship that earns immense reward. When you hold back your anger for the sake of Allah, you are choosing His pleasure over your ego. And what greater reward could there be than having Allah's mercy upon you because you chose patience when you could have chosen rage? Dua is another powerful tool. Ask Allah sincerely, O Allah, remove anger from my heart. O Allah, grant me patience and calmness. There is nothing too small or too personal to ask Him for. Just as you ask Allah for health, wealth, or guidance, Ask Him to purify your heart from the grip of anger. Make it a daily supplication, and over time, you will find your temperament becoming softer and your reactions more controlled. Seeking Allah's help also means following the prophetic advice given to us. The Prophet Muhammad taught practical steps for managing anger, such as remaining silent, changing your position, and drinking water. These steps are not only physical remedies, but spiritual ones as well, because they are rooted in divine wisdom. Practicing them with the intention of following the sunnah transforms an ordinary action into an act of worship. Managing anger with Allah's help also requires long-term consistency in worship. The more you engage in remembrance, qur'an recitation, and acts of obedience, the more tranquil your heart becomes overall. A heart that is connected to Allah is less likely to be shaken by people's words or actions. Instead of reacting impulsively, it remains grounded in faith. This spiritual strength is what allows believers to stay calm even in the most trying circumstances. Ultimately, anger is a test, and like every test, success comes only with Allah's help. The world may provoke you, people may frustrate you, and situations may upset you. But if you turn to Allah, He grants you the strength to rise above. He replaces your anger with patience, your frustration with calm, and your bitterness with peace. By seeking His help, you protect your heart, preserve your dignity, and draw closer to Him in every trial you face.